like to be a different side of me, yeah.
So how is it this morning out there? How's the weather so far?
It's raining. It's super cozy. I like rain.
It's,
Because like
it's
I
raining
live in my
today?
camper van. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
raining
I know.
today. But usually it clears up during the day. And
Mhm.
like I don't know if you can hear it. Like the rain just on the roof. It's
Yeah.
just like when you're on a boat and you listen to the rain on the deck, you know?
And that relaxes you completely.
Yes, I'm complete.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
in in the meantime, what everybody joins in and everything, I just want to know how are you apart from it, and
How
let
how
me,
I am.
yeah, how are you doing this morning? Because I know it's really early for you. It's 7:30 in the
It's
morning for you.
7:30. Mm. It's not too early. I like to get up early. But so far, I mean, I got up like maybe an hour ago, so not too early.
You got up an
Um,
hour ago?
yes, woman. That's when you basically go to bed sometimes. I know.
Oh my God, I can't. I'm a
Yeah.
vampire. I sleep in the daytime.
Yeah, I know. We're like so opposite. I could like I feel very anxious if I go to bed when it's light outside because it feels like I'm missing stuff. I should be productive. I should do stuff when it's daylight.
Yeah,
And as soon as it gets dark, like now, here's about to become wintertime here in New Zealand,
yeah, exactly.
and it gets dark like 5:30,
Yes.
and the sun has like it's still very dark outside. Can I turn the camera? It's still very dark outside.
Oh my God, yeah, it is.
Mm. Yeah. So like this turns out like it's just like Kiruna, you know. But here I can really feel it because the summer has been so long. Because I've had two
Mhm.
summers. Um, because I left Sweden
Yeah.
in the end of the summer, and I came here in the beginning of the summer.
Yes.
Cool. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, so when it's dark so long, you know, I just get so tired. It's like, oh,
You got into bear mood, kinda. Like you
yes,
just
I
want to
think I
sleep.
am. Yeah. So
Oh,
if
that's
I am an animal, I'm a bear.
well.
What
You
animal
see,
would you be?
I think I would be a vampire. I like sleeping in the daytime and just being
But
awake
that's
in
not
the
an
evening.
animal, is it?
I think it's an animal. A vampire? No,
Ooh.
a bat. A bat. Then it's a bat. It's just a bat.
Oh, okay.
Vampire are more like mystical creatures, if you want to feel like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Ooh, movies with vampires just freaks me out. It's like after I watched like Twilight.
Oh
So
my God.
when I was walking around in town afterwards, I was like, "Ooh, is he a vampire? Is he gonna eat me?"
Oh my God, there's a lot of imagination. But
uh.
what? But let's get to it. I want you to explain to me what actually is ADHD. What is actually the meaning of it? What does it stand for?
So it stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder.
Okay.
So attention means that we can have like trouble to how can I say trouble to concentrate. Like
Okay.
if we get distracted, it's hard to get back to the task we were doing.
Okay.
Um, hyperactivity it means like we can be really hyper, like a lot of energy, like woo, very
Okay.
hyper. Like especially when you're a kid, I was always the kid who was highest up in the tree,
Oh my
and that
God.
was not very common as a girl, you know.
Yeah, no.
I was always doing a lot of sports. I was awake like 6 o'clock in the morning, bouncing
Okay.
a basketball around in the neighborhood, and the
Okay.
neighbors were like, "Oh, Cece, are you for real?" That's me. So, and then attention,
Yeah.
attention deficit hyperactivity. Yeah, it just stands for that basically.
Yeah. And when did you
Like a lot of
discover it?
energy.
But when did you discover that you had it? When did you find
So
it
I got
out?
my diagnosis when I was 13.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I
And
lived in Sweden by that time. Yeah.
okay. So when you find out that you had this, what did you thought about it? Because you were a little girl at that time. You were going from being a little girl to a teenage age. So what do you thought about it? Like, what was going through your head in that moment?
So a lot of people ask me that question, and for me, it's quite blurry, that time of my life, because I think a lot of things were going on, like being teenager. First of all, it's like you get hormones jumping around in your body. A lot of things are going on, even to start with that. But then I didn't really know what it was.
Okay.
You know, so that's why, like, later in life, I started to understand it more and read more about it, and like teach other people about it, my own journey and stuff like that. So that question is really hard to answer, because I don't have a good answer, because I don't have much memories. I don't have enough memories to explain how I felt.
Yeah.
I just have small memories, like we went to Boop. That is like Bonn, kids psychology.
Yeah.
Something.
Yes.
And I just remember we went there, and I did a lot of tests and stuff like that.
Okay. And what pushed you to actually decide to teach people about this, to become a coach?
Yeah. So basically, to answer it short, it's that I want to be someone that I was missing out when I was younger.
Totally
I want to
understand.
be someone. Sorry?
Totally understand that part.
Yeah. Because I don't want it, like, because ADHD is very common now these days, because people do a lot of research about it, so it's more common, basically. And a lot of people walk around and they're undiagnosed, and that is like that. For me, that would be the worst thing, and because then I would really not know what's going on, you know. Because if I know, okay, I have ADHD, I can then create my own toolbox or create my own strategies, because I know the reason why I need it.
Okay.
It's just like if you have diabetes, if you don't take your insulin, like if you don't even know that you have it, if you don't take your insulin to keep your blood sugar in a good level, you basically don't know, you know. So yeah.
Yes. I know. I understand what you mean. Like if you don't have a diagnosis, you don't know how to deal with it. So it's difficult to understand why you have that kind of behavior, what makes you actually have all this energy. Because in your case, it's like you have so much energy, and even though you do a lot of things, you still have energy. So it's like you need to understand why. And what are the things that you recommend that to help you cope with it? What are the things that you think is the best way to cope with it?
So I used to say that I need to be very much aware of to take care of my base. In general, this is for everyone with an ADHD diagnosis or not. It would be to take care of your sleep, your nutrition, and your workouts. Like work out with your mental exercises, and also physical exercises.
Okay.
So basically, to keep your shit together, keep your life in a balance. But then also, like, it's a lot of things that is behind the base as well. For me, I'm working a lot with structure and to be organized. Because if I don't keep my structure, and because for example, I used to say that my tomorrow starts the evening before.
Yeah.
With that being said, I'm using a whiteboard and I'm writing down hour by hour what I'm doing. I'm writing down tasks I need to get done. I'm writing down the reason why I need to do it, because I need to work with my motivation.
Okay. That's actually something good that actually it can be applied also for other stuff in general in life, I think. So that is actually a good tip. I'm gonna take that one, but not like you.
Yes,
I think hour by hour, it doesn't work with me. I'm not the most. I don't work good with timing.
Yeah,
I'm always late.
That's fair enough.
But you know me, so
Yeah.
you know how I am.
Yes.
I'm fabulous late all the time if I can.
But I
apart
mean,
from my job. But yeah,
this is the good thing that we everyone has to work, like whether you have a diagnosis or not, we need
yeah,
to find a solution that works for me, that works for him, that works for her, you know.
yeah,
Everyone is different. We need different things in life. Our everyday life looks different because you're
yeah,
working with one thing and I'm working with a different thing, you know,
yeah.
working hours and stuff. Mm.
But do you think that now with the whole COVID-19, the whole quarantine situation, how does
Mm.
this have actually affected you? Because you need to have a lot of things to do during the daytime. How does this have, and I mean it, like you're a person that actually has an agenda every day for every hour and everything. And
Mm.
how has this changed for you and affected you?
Mm. I guess it's been affecting me that way that, like here in New Zealand, we're not in lockdown now. We used to be
Okay.
in lockdown and we had to stay in our bubble
Yeah.
for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And during that time, I realized I was more aware
Mhm.
because I was more aware of that I can't control stuff because I'm a control freak. I know it. That's why I do
Okay.
my planning and stuff. You know, I want,
Yeah.
like if I'm going to do a public talk in a library or something, I want to
Yeah.
see the library a day before or a week before so I can prepare myself.
Yes.
But so I started to be like, okay, things I can't control, let's not
Yeah.
focus on it too much. Just
Yes.
allow it to happen, allow it to come. Because if I overthink stuff, that
Mhm.
can turn into anxiety. I worry. For example, I worry too much about stuff, and then
I
that turns
understand.
into anxiety instead, and it's just a very very bad spiral.
Okay. So when you
So
have these
I lost
moments
my
of
question
insight, no, no, it's
because you
okay.
were asking me about the lockdown.
Yeah. No, but you went in something that
Sidetrack.
actually I no, but it's okay. This is a normal conversation between us, so we lost track all the time when we talk with each other. So it's perfect, it's normal. But did it? But when you were in the lockdown,
Yeah.
what were you feeling? How did it affected you?
I think it was a good feeling because I knew that I didn't have to go out and be social. I didn't have the pressure because at that time I didn't know many people in the town I was in.
Okay.
Um, um, I didn't have the feeling that I had to go out and do stuff. I didn't have the feeling of fear of missing out because I knew that everyone was just at home, you know.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I was in a very sunny place, beautiful weather here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time outside anyways, because we were not locked in that way. We
Yeah.
could still like go out for bike rides, go out for walks and stuff on the
Yeah.
beach. And so I was really focusing on myself and my own well-being, doing a lot of exercises and doing a lot of rehab with my ankle that I've hurt just a few months ago.
Okay.
And then um, also, I was working quite a lot because I had to switch from like a public speaking tour that I have planned out
Yeah.
here in New Zealand. So
Yeah.
I had to fix all these things, including like tickets, contact venues, and la 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 la,
Yeah. Exactly.
and move these things to online to build up the online stuff instead. And that just
Okay.
happened over 2 days. So that was quite hectic and a big change.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess like, yeah, to answer your question, what I did and how it was good.
No, but
It
that's
was
good. I
a
mean,
huge change. Mm,
yeah, and you adapt to it in the best way that you thought it was better for yourself, which
yeah.
is good. Because some people actually cannot cope with
Mm.
changes.
This,
I'm a person, for example,
yeah,
that is very difficult when it comes to changes. Like I'm, but you know me. Like I have my own. Like okay, if I'm gonna do something today, it's today. Then I put it there, and I know like I have to know in advance because I need to have my beauty sleep, and that cannot be interrupted,
yeah,
and you know those little things. And when I get these little
yeah,
interruptions in my day life, I'm just like, I get like annoyed. Personally, I get annoyed. And it's something that I'm trying to work on it because it's not healthy when you have these last minute changes and you start like getting agitated and anxiety start kicking in. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
But
I can really relate on that. And
what you were saying?
no, I can really relate on that because like when we went from level 4 in lockdown to level 3 or 2, when like level 2 we were allowed to go out and travel again. Restaurants were coming back to serve food inside and stuff. Because before everything was just closed, like even McDonald's and everything. So during that time when we went to lockdown level 2, that was a big change for me because I was kind of used to not go anywhere. I switched my mindset. Okay, now it's just online work, no live shows or not anything live. So that's when I started to struggle, and I was missing my secure zone. That's when I got really homesick, and I was like, oh, but I'm not giving up. But it was so hard. I just got super low in about like a week and a half. And now I feel better now. But I think all these feelings might just have come up after lockdown.
Okay. So everything just came at the end, like just, and exploded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
How are you coping with this? Because in Sweden, you haven't really had a lockdown.
I think this is
But how
also
do
the
you
funny
feel?
part. This is the funny part about it. Me having depression and coping with COVID-19 has been really funny. Because in the beginning, when it started it, I put myself in quarantine. I was staying a lot in my house, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna see anybody. I even stopped going to the gym. And then some of the places that I was normally used to going here in Kiruna, they closed for safety. And I totally understand, agree. And unfortunately, those places that closed were the places that I work. So I was not really thrilled about it. But okay, I have to stay home. I have to stay home. And that in the beginning was like, okay, it's like having a vacation, you know. So in the beginning, I took it like, oh, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to sleep. And I have these old plans that I'm going to do in my house. And I was like looking at things to do in my house. So I was like, oh, I have my wardrobe. I need to fix, you know, take away all clothes that I don't need, things that I want to keep, throw away. I think I kept that in my board in front of my bed for almost a month and a half and never did it.
Oh, yeah. So you had big plans, but you didn't put them to actions, basically.
No, because I felt like I was trying to convince myself that I was okay with all this going on, but the reality was that I was not. So my body was actually completely in a low mood. I was like sleeping all the time, which I am. I love sleeping, so it hasn't changed. But I was, at that time, I was...
So who's a bear?
Yeah, I know. But at that time, it was even worse because I was sleeping even more than usual. So it was just me getting up, going to eat, cook something, going to the supermarket. And the thing that I love about supermarkets is that they stay open until 10 o'clock in the evening. So to avoid contact with people whatsoever, I was just going to the supermarket like an hour before they closed, like at 9 o'clock in the evening, because it was empty. And I was just like rolling for an hour, and I was like, oh, this is my time to go out. Like, I'm a happy woman.
I'm not ready. This is my social thing. Hey.
Yeah, exactly. And
I need it.
Yeah, exactly. And then the few times that I tried going out during normal daytimes, because I was like, maybe that day I completely forgot that I didn't have milk, and that day I really wanted to have like a mocha coffee in my house. And I was just annoyed. So I would be like, okay, I'm going to go get dressed, drive, go down to the supermarket and buy it. But then I got annoyed because they put lines in the supermarket, but people were not respected. They still don't respect them, but that's another story. So I got really annoyed about it. So I was like, no, I cannot do this because I feel like I'm putting myself in danger when people don't respect the laws and everything like that. And I think that that's a big issue because you're trying to be respectful because of COVID-19, and also because the cases up here in Sweden are so high and we don't talk about them that much. And now it's like, it comes to a point that I got also annoyed. And then I was like, okay, forget about it. Screw all this. I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to the gym at least, you know. So I was going to the gym because the gym was still open. I was paying, you know. So I'm like, I'm still paying. God damn it. Let me go to the gym at least. So I started going to the gym. I went like for 3 weeks. Then I got lazy again. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to go tomorrow. Then I was like, oh, I can do just jog in my mat in my house. I was just like staying there in my mat, you know, doing some yoga. And I was like, oh, I'm done. It's over.
Yeah.
No more. And actually now, this last week, I tried going to the gym and the doors were locked. And there was a beautiful sign saying that until July, middle of July, because of COVID-19, they have different times. So that made me realize, like, okay, now everything is really serious now up here in Kiruna. So now they're taking measures in public places more than ever. So maybe I should call and say that I want my account to be free. So I got it frozen until August. Then I decided that I was going to try the outdoor gym, but then there's a little detail. I'm allergic to pollen, and now the pollen is just flying all over Kiruna.
Yes.
Beautifully. And mosquitoes also are having their best life. So I was like,
so a lot
no.
of them.
Yeah. So I just went down to the gym. You know, I walked in the park, and I was really excited because the gym is really beautiful, the open gym that they have in Kiruna. But unfortunately...
The outdoor gym, you mean?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, El Kobe has done an amazing job in that area. Like, seriously, Sissy, when you come, you're not even going to recognize that area. Trust me, believe me.
Wait, is it a new one? Is it a new one?
No, it's the same, but because they have been working in the area, they have not, they made it beautiful. I don't know if it was because it was covered with snow. I don't know. Or maybe it's just me that I just went there for the first time. I think I'm going to go with me going for the first time and El Kobe working on it as well. So it's really beautiful. But unfortunately, me being allergic to pollen and it just, and the mosquito, it just didn't work out. So I was like, let me go back to my house and just do some yoga and ended up there. By the way, if you do yoga, I salute you because, oh my God, it's hard. I can. I thought it was going to be something easy, you know, but it's not. Yoga is a lot of work with your muscles, and it's just like, I'm not there yet.
So the yoga I'm doing is yin yoga. It's very relaxing.
Okay.
Like you're in the same position for about 3 to 5 minutes. And I do this before bedtime, or just if I need to, like, because if my life is quite hectic, I want the balance. So this kind of yoga allows me to really relax. So then I just put on some just relaxing tunes, and then I just do some bit of stretching. It doesn't have to be hard. Like, you just lay down. Okay, does this position feel nice? It does. Okay, so keep this position for some time, and just focus on your way of breathing, and then just really focus on the area you're stretching. Because when you do this, like, I'm not a yoga teacher, so I can't explain it very well, but like a lot of feelings are inside the muscles. Like, I don't know the word for it, but so when you're keeping the position for this long, it actually stretches it out, if that makes sense. Look it up. Yin yoga. It's amazing.
I'm going to Google it. I promise.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google it, everything. But yeah. But tell me a little bit now, what is your plan so far right now? What are you going to do now? Because I know now you're in New Zealand, even though I hope that you come back. I miss you, by the way.
Yes. So basically today I've got 3 months left of my working visa. And I'm just gonna continue working with my clients, doing my public talks, and enjoy the country. I've got a few different options what I will do for my future, or do in my future. I'm just not ready to share it with everyone just yet.
No spoilers yet.
So so yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. Yeah, the future will tell.
Yeah, I think it's actually difficult to make plans also because of this coronavirus situation still. Like, you cannot think about traveling. One of the things that I miss personally is the freedom of knowing that if I want to leave or take vacations, I can do that. And it's not an option right now. It's not something that you can just be like, oh, I want to go. Just pack my bag and go. It's not like that.
It's so different. Yeah. And the thing is also like, because we're used to this kind of freedom, and now we are not having this kind of freedom.
And I think,
that's what
and that,
yeah.
sorry, what I was going to say is that also is not healthy mentally in a way.
Yeah. That we feel locked, or you mean?
Like your head is just like, feels like it's missing something, and it triggers something in your head.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for every person it's different, but for at least the way I feel is like I'm not allowed to do what I normally will do if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So that also is like, in my head, it's like, oh my God, no.
It's a big change. But what if we would then think of, okay, what can we do now? For example, now when you're in Kiruna, you're in your home. Like, this is the time for us to really allow ourselves to be creative. Like,
Yes.
this is like during the lockdown, you started your blog?
Yes.
Or was
I
that before?
woke
No,
up.
that was during.
No, that was during
It
the
was not
lockdown.
before lockdown.
That was
Yeah.
during the lockdown.
See,
I
that's
woke
you
up.
being creative. Yeah, you're doing new stuff. You're learning stuff. You
Yes.
are throwing yourself out there, and that is being a creative and also to be damn brave. So, like, with that being said,
Brave.
this would not been happening if lockdown was not happening.
I think it would have happened eventually, but not
Yeah.
right away. Because I always
Oh, yeah,
wanted
you're right. Yeah.
because I always wanted to do something to bring awareness about depression. This
Yeah.
was never something that I never wanted not to do. I thought that because, like you said, when you decided to become a coach, you wanted to give an example. You wanted people to have what you missed when you were growing up. And that was also my point of view. Like, I wanted people to know out there, you know what, you're not alone. I've been through it. I can understand you, but you also need to realize that there are steps that you also need to take. Because I think people have this idea when it comes to mental illness that if you have a mental illness, you belong in an asylum, in a crazy house, and it's not like that. I also believe that not all mental illness are the same, and it's actually a fact. It's not something that it's even about for discussion. This is not for discussion at all. They are different type of mental illness, and they all have to be treated differently. You cannot treat somebody that has depression like you treat somebody that is bipolar, or you cannot treat somebody that is bipolar like you treat somebody like you that has
ADHD.
Yeah, thank you. I always get confused when I have to say it. Sorry, because my tongue is like, but yeah,
It's fine.
it's completely different things, So for each one of them, there's a different way to treat it, and there's a different way also of approach.
Yeah.
Because every person is different. I can be depressed, but there's another people that is depressed in a completely different way than I am. There are people that are depressed, that they are in bed, they don't go out, they don't do anything, and that's the normal people that you say, and oh my God, they're depressed, they're not doing anything, But you have people like me that I can be depressed, but I can still go to work, I can still go out to parties, I can be social, but it doesn't mean that I'm not depressed. And I think that's very dangerous also. When you're somebody like me,
and do you
depressed,
keep the feeling inside you then?
Yes, I'm the depressed person that keeps it inside me. So it's dangerous because then I get to a point where I cannot deal with anything anymore, and I just completely lock myself in my house, no contact. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to see people. I don't want to do anything with nobody. And sometimes that is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous because you don't know how bad it could be of the depression, and you don't know how can somebody decide to cope with it. And I think a lot of the people that go to suicidal are the people like me, the ones that actually are still active, trying to do everything, but because they keep everything inside, they don't talk to anybody. They ended up like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. This is not working. I try everything, and I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, so it's complicated. But one of the things that I learned, and I always gonna say this, I'm very thankful for my parents because they are very supportive. You know, my family is my number one pillar in my life, and regardless of everything, I know that I can say to my mom, you know what, Mom, I went to a psychologist. My mom will be like, yeah, that's good. Go. That's your health. You need to take care of yourself. Or I can call my father and be like, you know what, today I don't feel good. And he will be like, okay, what's wrong? Sit down, let's talk. Tell me what, you know. So I think this is also important to make sure that the people that you have next to you also are helping you to cope.
And
my friends
and supporting.
also. Exactly. And that's one of the things that I'm really grateful about my life. My family, my closest friends as well. I remember when me and you and Ellen met, and I said to you, girls, like I'm on my pills. I'm taking antidepressants. You guys were so supportive. Yeah, guys were so supportive about it. And it's like it's nice when you have friends like this. When you have people that understand you.
I was very surprised because this is like, it's not like you walk around with a cast on your arm. Like it's not broken.
Yeah.
This is something you can't see. It's within you.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And that, it's like, that is what I don't like about like having a mental disorder or a diagnosis or anything. Like you don't see it. It's not so easy for people to support you if you don't open your mouth and scream or talk, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really weird sometimes to understand that people don't understand just because you don't talk.
Yeah. And I think that's why I decided also to do the blog. I wanted people to understand.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to talk to you about their problems.
No. What has been your response so far?
It has been really positive. I think one of the things that I felt in the beginning that was actually really hard was when people that know me for so long, but we're not really close, you know, we're in shock about it. And I felt like I had to explain myself. And that part was like, was hard because you don't really know how to explain it. You don't really even know how to put it in words, you know?
Yeah.
You don't even yourself know how to tell to people, like in your eyes, you still feel like everyone else. But unfortunately, inside of you, something is broken and you don't know what it is, but you're working to fix it. So that was the hardest part for me, just trying to explain to people that couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
What was going on. And until this day, it's actually hard to explain to people because sometimes I will get questions like, okay, but how do you know? And I'm just like, just feel it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that if someone hasn't walked in your shoes before, if they haven't walked that journey themselves, they don't know it. I mean, they can say they understand, but they won't understand to the fullest.
That's true. I think the only thing that people can actually do is, in this case, is just educate themselves. Because I think it all starts with education. If you educate
and
yourself,
understand yourself.
Exactly. So if you educate yourself, then it's so much easy for you to actually understand what that person is going through, you know?
Yeah.
Because when I decided to make a life with you, my purpose was to actually educate myself. I have known you for now, and I'm proud of this, for 5 years, because I've been in Twitter for 5 years. And I still
Yeah.
remember until this day how I met you. And I will never forget it. Because the first thing that came to my head when I saw you was like, oh my God, there goes my perfect body. I will never forget it.
Oh my God. When was this? Was this when we were in the sauna in
Yes,
Lucas?
yes. When we're in the Sony
That's
Jukas.
crazy.
And now I
But
just
see,
saw
like,
you. And I couldn't. I was just looking at you. And I remember because it was me and Lotta and Crancy there. We were the
yeah.
ones that were dressed just drinking at the staff party. And I was in shock. I was like, oh my God, she has the perfect body. And then when I met you again, I was just like, oh my God, you have an amazing body. I just couldn't. I had to say it. I was just like, perfect body goals.
I think that you have a perfect body too.
You see? There you
Like,
go.
everyone should be so damn proud of the body that we do
No,
have.
don't get me wrong. I love my body, but if I would put time and
Good.
energy on being healthy and working out, your body will be my goal. That's for a fact. That is the fact.
That is so weird to hear. Oh God, we have to talk about something else now. And
Yeah,
not
we need
my
to.
body.
But anyway, what is your when you decided to start this being a coach? You decided to do this in Sweden, right?
Yep.
And this was how many years ago now?
Ooh, 3
Yeah.
3 years ago, 2 years, 2.5, 3.
No, it was 3. It was 3.
3. Okay. Yep, 3.
Yeah, I think it was 3. Yeah, I think it was 3.
I'm like, what year is it now?
2020.
2020. Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
And then, what projects have you done in Sweden about it?
What projects?
Yeah.
Ooh, I think this like the How to Live Well project, How to Live Well with ADHD project started here in New Zealand. So I haven't really done a project like this in Sweden. So I was just coaching, but then also I was working full time in Sweden
Okay.
all the time. So I was coaching either before work or after work.
Okay. But
So I never really did this full time in Sweden.
but do you think you want to do this full time also in Sweden?
Maybe. Like
Uh-huh.
what I'm starting now
Yeah.
is something I want to continue with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I salute you for it because
Thank
it
you.
takes somebody really brave to put herself out there and tell somebody,
Mm.
okay, I have this and I want you to understand how it works. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's hard every day.
But then also like I used to call this like a project because I don't
Yeah.
know like for how long I will do it.
Yeah.
Because I know that I need to do different stuff with myself. That
Okay.
sounds weird, but like I need to do something different maybe in 1 year, but then I keep this project, but I start another one.
Okay.
Because that's just how I work. I need to do different stuff to keep myself stimulated.
Okay.
But for now, this is what I really want to focus on. To develop my coaching program and
Yeah.
to develop myself and my own knowledge and to continue work with my ongoing clients and stuff like that.
Do you think you will ever get to the point where you will teach other people also to be coaches to help other people as well?
Um, I would never say never, but that's not my goal at this point.
Okay.
Um, mm,
Okay, that's fair. I mean, that's a big one also. So it takes time to
yeah,
decide
I
if
think
something
that's
for
like
you.
too big. Maybe when I'm 80, but not now. I want to focus on on other stuff instead.
Okay.
Because like if you want to educate coaches, that's like then you need another education, an education that I do not have.
Okay.
And yeah.
but it's a work in progress situation for you to be growing on yourself, and that's the main goal so far.
Yeah, I think that's like for everyone in their lives, like it's life, it's a journey, and it's an ongoing education itself. Like you learn stuff all the time,
Hmm.
like big and small stuff. You learn everything. Like you can learn small stuff every day, and that what
That's
makes
true.
us grow. So I think it's really important for us to just never, like, because when we went to school, this came natural for us. Like we had to learn new stuff every day
Yeah,
in school.
exactly.
Now when we're not in school, we're basically in the school of life instead, and that is up to us what we are learning, what we want to learn, and stuff like this.
Well, what would you say has been the biggest lesson that you have learned so far?
In my life, or during the last 2 years, or
During the
like
last two
when
years. During the last two
during the
years.
last year. Oh, can I, or just one?
You can put
um,
you can put how many you want out there. Well, I just say one just to make it easy.
hmm. Like one main one is like if you don't believe in yourself, um, who will believe in you or who will believe in your idea?
Yeah.
You really have to know the reason why you do stuff. Like, why should I do this? Because if I do not know the reason why,
Yeah.
um, I'm kind of not going in that direction. Another thing that I might not be just for the last 2 years, but I always need a direction in life to know where I'm
Hmm.
heading, to know what I'm working towards.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, well, that's like, how do you always have a goal in life, or how do you always know like what you need to get to, like what you need to do and stuff?
Yeah.
It's not always I know that, but then I know that it's time for me to put up a new goal or put up a new direction in life.
Yeah.
Because if I'm just standing somewhere, or like if I'm just not doing anything that
Yeah.
I feel a good purpose on, like I feel half of me is kind of gone. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm,
Totally makes sense.
totally makes sense to me.
At least for me, makes sense.
um, mm. So always, okay, to summarize my answer, always have a direction in life, know
Yeah.
where you're going, and what did I say again? The if you don't believe in yourself, who
Yourself,
believes
nobody
in
will
you?
believe in you,
Yeah.
which is true.
Mm.
That one I agree
Yes.
100%. In my
Mm.
case, I would have to say that I have come to the point where I have to learn to accept the way that I am, my flaws completely, and just
Mm.
not say that I'm okay, but really mean it when I say that I'm okay with my flaws. Because sometimes I have the tendency to say, no, no, it's okay, I'm fine with my flaws, but sometimes they annoy me actually. And now it's like I got to the
Yeah.
point where I'm just like, no, I love it. I love my flaws. Like I'm happy with them. It's not an
What
issue.
can that be, for example, if you want to share?
For example, one of my biggest flaws personally is me being a person that is late. I don't know, for some reason, when it comes to going to events and stuff like that, I'm always late. I cannot make it on time. It's a miracle when I make it on time. Actually,
For
it's a miracle.
example, on the wedding that was just this weekend, I was watching it live. Were you late? Were you
One
late?
minute late. 1 minute late.
Oh my God. I was like, either she's helping Ellen with something or she's actually late. I just
You
saw
know
you
what?
ran into church like the
You
last
know
person
what?
before the wedding couple comes in.
You know what's the worst part of it? I was trying to get there on time, but it
You
feels
tried
like
so
the
hard, so you got distracted and be like,
no, no, no.
what? Where are we even going?
It felt like the universe was just like, nah, it's you. So everyone in front of me driving was so slow.
So you're
And then,
blaming them.
no, 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 but wait. And then to make matter worse, I get to Coop in Jukkasjärvi, and there's a family going with their kids, and the little girl decides to get out of the walking path with her bicycle and go on the road. So I had to go even more slow than the 50 that I'm supposed to go, no, 30 that I'm allowed to go. So I was just like, I was supposed to be 2 minutes, on time ahead to the
I
wedding.
made it.
And yeah, exactly, to say I made it. But instead, I spent my last 2 minutes trying not to kill a little girl. So I got so annoyed, so annoyed that I was just okay. And then when I pulled the car, typical me, I did Ferrari style, going to the church style.
Oh,
to the point,
did you?
To the point, yes, to the point that Ellen, no, Jonas,
Turn around.
Jonas' best man came outside, and he's like, yeah, you're in time. Just run. We're about to start. And I just ran inside with my heels, and I was like, trying not to fall with my heels. And then when I got
and
inside,
you were live.
I didn't know that part though. But when I saw myself there, I just saw everybody just looking at me, and I was just like, this is so embarrassing. I was just so embarrassed. It's Ellen's wedding. Her family's here. Her closest friends are here, and I managed to be late. The good thing is I was early for her preparation. I was actually 20 minutes earlier than I was supposed to be. So that was good. So props to me for making it regardless.
So it's the balance. It's the balance for it.
It's a very difficult one. But I'm working on it as much as I can. I think I just don't have, I don't know. I think it's something about me that me and time just, that's why sometimes I think I need to be my own boss, because at least when I'm my own boss, I can do whatever I want in the time that I want it. But I realize that that's not true, because even when you're your own boss, you have deadlines, and you have to keep those deadlines, and you have to do things in a certain time, and you have to deliver. So time is also there. So it's something that I need to work on more, but it's not that bad. I mean, we're working.
You get there.
Yeah.
I'm here to support you. You get there.
I know. Thank you. You're the best. But Cece, tell me a little bit more. How did your family? How's your family doing when it comes to you being a coach? What did they think about it? What did they say when you decided that you wanted to be a coach?
They're proud of me, of what I'm doing here in New Zealand. Yeah. They are very supportive, because I'm pushing myself and my boundaries a lot when I'm here.
Yeah.
Especially being a country where I haven't been before. I start like, how can I say? Like, the people here are so friendly and helpful and supportive.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, with that being said, we're talking about my family. You were asking about my family, and I'll just switch it. Well, they are very supportive as well, and I have really good connection with them. It's very, very helpful that it's like now 10 hours different from Sweden and here to New Zealand. It would be a lot different if it would be like 14 hours or something.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to stay in contact, to call like even in the morning or in the evening or mornings.
Yeah, exactly. Because that works better for you. Because, for example, for me, it's just like I'm not that far from home. So for me, calling my mother or my sister at the same time, I don't have to worry about it. Or calling my papa at the same time. So I don't need to actually. It's just when I have to call my family in USA or in Honduras that I have to like change. But it's not that big of a deal because we still manage to find a way to connect with each other. And I think one of the things that I like a lot, and this may be sound wrong to some people about coronavirus, but it's the fact that it has brought me and my family more and more together. Yeah. Especially the ones that are far away. It just gave us that input, to actually get in contact more and start talking more than usual, and actually use social media in a good way, in a healthy way, because you can use social media for a lot of things. but sometimes people use it for all the wrong things. And in this case, I gotta say the coronavirus made actually social media being used for good things. And I think that's something that should be never be taken for granted when we look back in this time, how actually having internet, having Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Zoom help a lot of people actually to cope with this, to connect with each other. Because when you have a mental illness, family and connections are important.
Yes, it is. And like during lockdown, I found a lot of beautiful stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Like musicians started to do like for free live streams.
Oh my God, my favorite.
And for me, that is like I become so alive when I listen to music. So for me, that's been like a huge help for me on days where I felt low. Just to, okay, who's online now playing some songs or something. And yeah. But yeah, Zoom, I mean, if there is a one company that's just gone straight up for, it's Zoom.
We like Zoom lately. I mean, I think I took this opportunity not only to do that, but also to actually spend time learning. As weird as it sounds, I'm not, you know me, I've been trying to study Swedish for so long. And actually, I have to say I got better now that I'm studying at home Swedish than before, because I actually have more the time to put into it.
Can you please share for us what's your favorite word in Sweden is? I just love this.
Vänta.
Yeah.
Vänta, vänta lite.
Vänta lite.
Vänta lite, vänta lite.
That means wait a little. But why is that your favorite one? Vänta
I
lite.
think, it started because of work. You know when you're a waitress?
And sorry, we're going to get back to the reason why you started and everything. I just want to, sorry to disrupt you.
You know when you're a waitress, you have, because I was a waitress when I came to Sweden at the Ice Hotel. So my first season, I did breakfast and lunch, so it was perfect, no big deal. That was the season I learned to say yalla, yalla, yalla. So I was saying yalla, yalla, yalla.
Yalla, yalla.
Yeah, I know. Yalla, yalla, yalla.
Yes.
That was the one that I was saying. Then in the summer, I was working evenings. So in the evenings, you have fram and vänta. Fram is like, it has to go first, so go. And vänta is wait. So when you put in the starters, you put fram, and for the mains, you put vänta. So the kitchen knows it. And I just learned it, you know. I was just like, that's nice, venta, 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 you know. So I learned to say venta. Then, that same summer, Louise had Puka, her huge dog, adorable.
Yeah.
And she asked us if we would go and take Puka out for a walk, you know. So me being the smart person that I am, I'm taking Puka out for a walk.
You said venta Puka.
Yes. So every time I wanted Puka to walk, I say fram, without noticing that fram. But fram for Puka was more like run. So Puka was walking me around Jukkasjärvi, pretty much. So it was amazing. It was really amazing.
Oh.
And
so Puka was out walking with you instead.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it was that day. Puka was walking me out, and until this day, I think it was one of the most amazing days ever with Puka. Like me screaming, "Venta, venta, venta, venta!" It just didn't work out, but he was happy, so that's all that matters. It was a nice experience. But then it got stuck in my head, you know, because every time it's like working in the restaurant business, you always have to say this word. So it just works.
So how often do you study Swedish? Do you study it at home?
Now we have it at home because of COVID-19. So it's like you go by yourself the teacher puts some exercise that you're supposed to do, and then you go. It depends on my mood, because at the end of the day, I'm a person that is moody also, and depends how I wake up that day, if I feel like in the mood to study, because I need to be 100% sure that my head is working. I cannot say that my head works all the time perfectly, because I will wake up some days and I'm just like completely sleeping. And I just cannot do anything. I need to stay in bed.
But that is like, for me, I'm working a lot with myself those mornings, because that's when my morning routines help me, because that's my time when I'm creating myself in a good state.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, for me, I try like pushing myself, but then I realized that when I push myself in these days that I'm low, I get really, I get in a weird state, and anything happens, and whatever happens, I'm so sensible, and I start like crying, or I get really angry. So I decided that when I feel that I'm like that I'm sensible, that I cannot cope with the word or anything, then I decide that it's best for me to just let it go.
Yeah. But that is so good that you are aware, like when you feel that trigger, like you're super aware of it, and you don't push yourself in any direction. You just stop and be like, okay, so what is the best possible thing for me to do today?
Yeah, because I think like I already tried pushing myself, and when I did pushing myself, it just ended up in disaster. I was a complete mess. And I'm the type of person that is very pride. Like, I don't like people to see me sensible. Like, I don't like nobody to see me in my weakest point at all. So for me, for somebody to see me crying, it really means that I'm really open to you.
Yeah.
You will never see me in that state. Never, ever. But if I get to that point that you see me in a public place crying, then I'm completely broken. And that's the point that I don't like getting in at all.
I'm a bit the same, actually. But for me, I'm very close to my feelings, and like I can really relate on that when you say depends on like the people who's around me. Yeah. But I think that if we do have feelings, like never keep them inside, because I think that it's just gonna build up, and they just stay inside and turns into anxiety instead, maybe.
But the thing is, I'm working on not having my feelings inside, but actually work with them. We have been talking for an hour. The conversation has been really good, really good.
Time is flying.
I know, right? But
that reminds me that I need to get going with my day.
But you're not the only one. I also have to go. But Cece, I want
It's
to thank
bedtime.
you. No, not yet, but yeah. But I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me, and not only for joining me, but also for taking a little bit of your time, and also to explain a little bit of this and have an honest conversation about it. I really appreciate you for that, 100%. And I am more than grateful for this. And I really hope that all your projects come to life, because you deserve it. You're an amazing soul. Seriously. You're an amazing person. And the work that you're
kind
doing,
words.
but really, the work that you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
Helping people every day is not easy. And especially when you're also working on yourself, is more complicated. So on that note, I salute you. You have nothing but love from my side. So thank you so much for joining, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for letting me join in. It's been my pleasure too. And rock on with the stuff you're doing. It's very important. And you're doing the same thing. You're developing yourself and also sharing your story. And that is very, again, very brave of you to do. I admire the work you do, so keep doing it.
Oh, thank you. Mwah. I love you. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.